In this video, we'll learn the answers to 17 questions for Proprietary Trading Firm Co-Founder with brutally honest answers.
Hi, I'm Mike Bellafiore, co-founder of SMB Capital, and we're a proprietary trading firm located in Midtown Manhattan. And I'm also the author of the trading classic, One Good Trade, and the Playbook. Click our subscribe button so you don't miss any of the videos that we're producing for you in the trading community.
In this interview, two veteran traders sit down to dive deep into how our proprietary trading firm and our traders have become remarkably successful. Let's get to work on sharing the answers to help you improve your trading.
I wanted to welcome back to the Options Tribe today one of our fearless leaders, Mike Bellafiore. And thank you for making all this possible for all of us, because all of this flows from the culture of SMB Capital, which I can tell you I've been in it for 10 years now. And it is a really great culture to be in, because while it's not only an incredibly successful culture, it's also one really dedicated to people improving. And it comes out of every pore of everybody at SMB, that desire to improve. And that's why we have the Options Tribe meetings every week, to help give you some information that help you to improve as an options trader.
This is the best year that we've had. Sorry to cut you off, but I will jump into that. This is the best year that we've ever had at SMB, and our best traders are having their best years that they've ever had, and they are all still getting better.
It's amazing, and you see it, and you see them working on their craft. I haven't seen any of these guys since March, but it doesn't matter. Nothing changes. I've seen them on Zoom meetings since then, and they're the same people with the same energy and the same desire to improve, and same new ideas generation at all times. So I'm going to pull up now an Instagram post that appeared recently. And we all know the guy in the center to be someone we all call Swang. And Mike, you posted this on Instagram. I know, because I knew this information beforehand, because you sent us all an email letting us know that this young man, who is probably, what is he, 28, 29 years old, Mike? He looks like he's 12.
Yeah.
Looks like he's 12 years old. If you met him, you'd think he was someone's son. And he, coming in to be with your dad day, but he is very young looking, but extremely brilliant guy, and we'll call him Swang. He has, but before June 30th, I don't know if you can interpolate here or not, but before June 30th, he has already earned net trading profits of $10 million. How did he make so much money this year, Mike?
He, A, is very talented. Talent is a very real thing in trading. B, I think you actually remember when he first started, even with us long enough, where you would have remembered him just starting.
I do.
And the first thing that he did that was very impressive is he became consistent. And so for those who aren't yet profitable or are not doing as well as they want at SMB, we ask our guys to first focus on being consistent. So our main business is hiring traders to trade firm capital and splitting profits with them. They go through an extensive training program so that we feel confident that they can trade firm capital well, but also that they can grow. We're not in the business of building $50,000 a year traders, which, by the way, is great for lots of people. We're in the business of growing seven-figure traders, and in this case, eight-figure traders. And that $10 million net is from the beginning of the year. It's from January 1st, 2020. Certainly, I would have to add one of the variables to be that the market has been opportunistic for short-term active trading. Volatility has risen. That's certainly a factor in this. But I'd also have to add the variable that his performance is astonishing. The trading results are remarkable. He has, along the years, understood what his strengths were and built from them. He is an incredibly fast thinking person, tremendous processing power, and has crafted his trading style around that. When he recognized what he did well, he started to express those ideas in some different ways. So he has graduated into trading options as well directionally, and adding that as an important revenue line to his business as well. He has worked very well with the resources at the firm. We're very lucky at the prop firm that we're at that we have amazing resources like Dr. Brett Steinberger, who coaches and mentors the traders, the best trading coach in the US, coaches our guys and some of the biggest traders and at some of the most prestigious firms in the world, their traders. He has tapped into the importance of having a risk manager who works with you on a daily basis, keeps you in check, keeps you from not losing too much on your bad days or your bad trades, which happens if you trade long enough. He leads our desk in G-chatting me throughout the day. Nobody G-chats me more than Swang, constantly giving me updates on what he's trading, how he's working on a sizing, how he's doing overall. And I'll just say this, I said this in a note to our guys, and I say this for the people listening. Yeah, he is up 8 figures this year. His path to be an 8-figure trader has not been perfectly smooth. He has not just always done well and done better. There have been some real challenges along the way.
If you want to learn 3 real-world setups that our traders use, including the simple setup that we teach all of our new traders and the setup that turned one of our traders into a 7-figure big money earner, check out the free webinar that we're currently running. Just go ahead and click the link that should be appearing right now at the top right-hand corner of your screen. That's going to open up this free registration page in the new window, so don't worry, you're not going to lose this video. You're going to learn more in a couple of hours from this trading workshop than from years of online education.
So if you are a retail independent prop trader that gets off the tracks now and then, he has as well. And I say that because if he could figure out how to get back on the tracks, and the best story that I can give you is that very recently, during a review, he had one of his very rare recent drawdowns. He had actually been losing money for a little bit of time. And we meet during our monthly meetings to go over past results. We put statistics in front of everybody. We're transparent with everybody. And you can see his drawdown. And Dr. Steinberger, and now a famous SMB quote, said to him, "Don't let your swing trading get in the way of your swang trading." And he was starting to do some stuff different that was outside of what he does best. And so I could go on and on. I won't. Those are some of the reasons why he has done so well. But yeah, he has made 8 figures in net trading profits since the start of the year. I just got a G-chat from him. We both are excited to see where he can go from here.
You started SMB in 2005, and it's a prop trading firm in Manhattan, very competitive. And tell us, for people who've never even heard the term proprietary trading firm, what are the advantages of trading at a prop firm instead of trading your own capital independently? Would it make sense for retail and independent traders to consider trading for a prop trading firm?
Yes, if you want to be somebody who makes 7 figures in a year, north of $1 million in a year, if you're somebody who wants to find out just how good they can be, the very best you can be. You want to become your very best trader. You want to play at the highest level that you can play at. You need more resources. You can only do something, you can only do so much alone. And so at a prop firms have more resources than you can have individually. We have more capital, much more capital, many multiples of capital that we can provide for traders. When you get more capital, you can make more money, assuming your strategies work. We have better technology. That means you can be alerted to the trades more often that you trade best. That means that you can execute better on entries and exits. That means that you can execute with larger size because your technology is better. You have great coaches like Dr. Steinberger and great resources like our floor manager and myself and Steve Spencer, who have my partner as well, who've been doing this for 20 plus years, who can give you some advice when markets start to change, when the market regime shifts. We can see that and point that out and point you in the right directions of some strategies that are worth focus. You have other traders around you who are terrific. Swang, it's no coincidence that Swang sits next to Shark, who is a phenomenal trader, and the two of them make each other better. Swang is seeing how much money Shark is making in a particular trade, and that pushes him to trade a little bit bigger. Or it gives him the idea to be in the trade in the first place that maybe he wouldn't have thought of by himself. It gives you, when you have other traders around you, it gives you the opportunity to trade jointly. So one of the things that we do at our firm is we have joint accounts. Guys actually team up, they share ideas, they put money into them, it gets them talking more amongst each other and improves their idea flow. If you put a couple more ideas in front of a trader like Swang a month, that's going to really add to his bottom line. You know, the other huge thing is that when you're trading at a prop firm, if you are losing money, it's a drawdown. If you're trading your own retail or independent account, when you're losing money, it's your money. You've really lost $100,000 or $300,000. It's out of your pocket. You're really thinking, I have that much more money less. I have that much less money. When you're trading at a prop firm and you're trading somebody else's capital, it's a drawdown. You're going to make it back. It's just a mark. And you keep pushing and you keep pressing from there. So can't go through all the advantages, but those are some of them. And those are some of them at our firm.
Yeah, it's once you understand how the system works, it becomes less and less attractive to trade your own capital, really, and much more attractive to trade firm capital for, you know, all the reasons you mentioned. Mike, you've written 2 books on trading, One Good Trade and the Playbook. They're so readable and just so interesting and so informative. You've written thousands of blog posts. You've shared hundreds of videos on SMB Capital's YouTube channel, which everybody should go to right now and subscribe to because it's unbelievable, the amount of information we're putting out there. So my question for you is, why aren't you more secretive of what works for firm traders? Isn't it smarter to not tell everybody what's going on and not tell everyone and just hold the information to ourselves?
So we don't share everything. And I would suggest that as generous as we are on, for instance, SMB Capital's YouTube channel, which is a tremendous resource for developing traders, for new traders, for experienced traders, from the feedback that we're getting from traders all over the world. A tremendous resource. We're very proud of the quality education that we share on SMB Capital's YouTube channel. If you haven't seen it, go check it out, see what you think. We're really not sharing as much as maybe people think. We are sharing a lot, but they're certainly not sharing everything. And there's certain things we never talk about, certain strategies we never talk about, for which the firm makes a tremendous amount of money, that it wouldn't be fair for us to talk about for the traders at our firm, because there is a limitation on how much size can be traded for certain trades. And so we just don't talk about them. I won't even tell you the names of the trades, but there certainly are strategies you won't hear us talk about. But for discretionary trading, we do talk about that. And for discretionary trading that has a lot of liquidity, we do talk about that. And the reason why we share, firstly, is because it's in our interest to meet more people who can do what we do. And by us putting out to the world what we do, we're attracting the right type of people. We don't want to attract get rich quick traders or people looking to get rich quick. We're not looking to attract people who want to make $50,000 a year. And again, that's great. I'm not in any way, that's not for us. That's not what we do. That's not where we're adding value. We are here to develop really, really large traders on the equity side. And we need to attract we need to attract the right type of people. And talent lies in so many different places. And if we are just secretive about what we do, and we go through the traditional recruiting paths that other people go through, we're going to limit the touches that we get with those very talented people. The seven-figure traders that we've developed at the firm since 2005, some of them come from non-traditional places. Some of them we would not have met and developed if we just did the traditional things. And those traders really move the firm to different places. So it's in our interest to do that, and we'll keep doing it. And I think we do certainly share a lot, and there's a lot that people can do with what we're teaching. We're essentially showing you what it's like to be a professional trader. We're teaching you what you need to do to be a professional trader. We're teaching you how to think through trades. When you watch a video that I put up on YouTube, the biggest takeaway is we are teaching you how to think through a trade like a professional trader does, and you can take that and you can apply it to lots of different other strategies. Absent that quality of thinking, absent the variables that really move markets, you're gonna be lost. So I hope we share that with the community.
Mike, I know you're a voracious reader. You're constantly talking about the book you're reading now, and it comes out in your writing and on your YouTube videos and everything you share because you get excited about things. What's the best recent book that you recommend to people who really want to become great traders?
Atomic Habits by James Clear. We are the compilation of our habits. Our productivity is the best practices that we turn into habit, and then we wait for those results. Great book, go check it out.
I know I get his, I've subscribed to his Thursday newsletter. I know you're a subscriber too. And you start looking forward to Thursdays because his thoughts are so incredible. This was a New York Times bestseller, I think, wasn't it, Mike? Really, really popular book. What are you reading now?
I'm reading The Man Who Solved the Market, how Jim Simons launched the quant revolution by Greg Zuckerman. Mm-hmm. Very interesting. And I don't mean to date you, but fascinating book that's about Renaissance capital one of the most successful quantitative trading firms ever in the history of trading. The firm was built the town over from where I grew up. I just get a kick out of some of the local references that are made in the book, the pubs that they go to, the restaurants they eat at, were places that I certainly frequented while I was growing up. And I just get this big kick out of the fact that one town over, and we grew up in this sleepy harbor town on Long Island, you would never think that one of the world's great quantitative firms was being built one town over from where I grew up, or in the town that they built this in. And yet these guys were building this massively successful firm. The locals didn't, we didn't hear about this firm when we were growing up. It was sort of secret. It was secretive, as you were saying, but they were doing quantitative trading, not discretionary trading for the most part. So that's more understandable. But the other really fascinating thing about the book is the age at which Jim Simons started trading seriously, started his firm seriously, and the age of the people that he hired who went on to really be key players in building Renaissance. They were 40s, 50s, and had never traded before in some cases. Imagine that. Our game a lot of times is dominated by young people coming right out of college. And boy, these guys were different. They were different in their backgrounds, knew very little about markets, great mathematicians, their age, where they were, what they had done in the past. Fascinating book.
The man who solved the market. Is he still kicking, Jim Simons?
I don't know. He's definitely getting up there. I think he's still around. Renaissance is still doing very nicely.
Stephanie's asking for us to mention the name of the book again. It's The Man Who Solved the Market: How Jim Simons Launched the Quant Revolution by Greg Zuckerman. Stephanie. Now, the $64,000 question: who is the best trader at SMB, and why?
You're going to get me in trouble here. So I'm gonna steal from my grandmother here. During Christmas, my grandmother would give the three boys in the family Christmas gifts. One was the favorite, one was number one, and one was the best. And so Shark is the best overall trader, best well-rounded overall trader. Swang is the best flat-out trader. Raf was number one at P&L in 2019. Dan G and his team may grow into being able to handle the most capital of anyone at the firm.
Dan G's team is the quant team, correct?
They are not a quantitative team, Seth. They're more of an automated team.
I don't want you getting any more trouble, so I'm not going to drill down on that on that question. And I know all these guys, and
yeah, thanks for that question.
Yeah, they're. It just makes you feel worse that you're the age you are, because these guys, I'm 61. These guys, I knew Shark right out of college. He was in the same class that I was. I took Equity Foundation at the same time that Shark did. He was right out of college. I was, right out of the insurance business. And, you just could tell that he was going somewhere. I didn't really think this was going to happen. But, you just had that instinct. We all kind of had that instinct about him that he's going to be something special. And he sat in our Options Foundation course dutifully while we were filming it, let's see, after Equity Foundation, about 6 months later, I filmed Options Foundation, and that whole initial class came back in to the conference room for about 2 weeks as I was filming that, and they all participated. And I noticed that Shark was very active, very interested, taking notes, and he didn't trade options for quite a long time after that. Yet, he took in all that knowledge, and now options is a very important part of what Shark does, if I heard correctly.
Yeah, and I would say that his most recent advancement has been in how he has structured trades. And that structuring is both with equities and with options. And because of the way he's structuring these trades, that in of itself is allowing him to experience significantly more edge.
I wanted to let you know that there really are sound, viable, long-term techniques for trading options for income. And in fact, we're currently running a 2-hour free intensive workshop at the moment where we'll be teaching you 3 of those strategies that real professional options traders use, including a really simple but incredibly effective technique that some of the greatest investors in the world, like Warren Buffett, use all the time, plus an options trading strategy that has a statistical 80% probability of profit month in and month out, plus an option strategy that you can employ with a stock that you like, where you'll make your target profit whether the stock goes up, goes nowhere, or even goes down a small percentage. So if those strategies would be of interest to you, then you should check out the free options class that we're currently running. Just go ahead and click the link that should be appearing now at the top right corner of your screen. That will open the free registration page in a new window, so don't worry, you won't lose this video. Or you can just head on over to optionsclass.com to register for this free intensive workshop. It's a rare opportunity for retail traders and investors to learn directly from Wall Street traders, but that's exactly what you'll be getting through this free online workshop. So click the link to sign up now and don't miss it.
These are very young guys. They're very polite, decent people, by the way, all of them. They are very happy to be helpful and share information. These are not cocky young guys. These are good guys. Cocky young guys don't really make it in our firm, and they don't really make it, pretty much anywhere. But these are very, very good guys who work extremely hard and deserve every penny they've made. And it was all, it was all a result of effort. And obviously a combination of their skills and the resources they've had. All right, put you on the spot again. Who is the person in the trading world? You can exclude present company, Mike. Who's the person in the trading world that you most admire?
Oh, easy for me. Dr. Brett Steinberger, the best trading coach in the US and the most generous person in the world of trading. He has unlimited energy to work with our traders, from the star traders all the way down to the newest of the interns. He amazingly, a lot of people think of Dr. Steinberger as a psychologist. And I think a lot of people think of a psychologist at a trading firm as somebody who helps people with their head, get their head straight. And he does some of that, but what he mostly does is he helps people build their edge even better. He mostly is giving feedback on how guys can really develop trading edge. And he will say, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he will say, you can't have a good trading psychology if you don't have edge. And if you do, there's probably something really wrong with you. Because if you're repeatedly losing money, you shouldn't be in the zone or calm or happy. You should be pissed.
Yeah, he is unbelievably generous guy. It's one of the greatest parts of being part of SMB is having access to Dr. S, one of the most decent human beings I've ever met in my life, and he'll do anything. Recently, about 2 months ago, on a Saturday, I sent him an email and I said, I've got a friend who's struggling trading. She has nothing to do with SMB. She's just a personal trader, trades futures with friends of ours, Mike. And I said, she's struggling with some things. Is there any chance you could, just have a chat with her? And he said, absolutely. He gave her an hour on a Sunday. This is a complete stranger to all of us. And she called me back afterwards. She goes, I cannot believe Brett Steinberger just gave me an hour for free, just because he happens to know you. And that's the kind of guy he is. And we have this resource the guy's available 24/7. You send him an email 2 a.m, you'll get an answer back probably pretty quickly. And he's just one of the, many resources we have. What was the first thing you did? I'm going to embarrass you here. What's the first thing you did when you first made a lot of money as a trader?
Oh, that's a great question. First thing I did, I remember this. First thing I did is I bought a membership to the Reebok Club on the Upper West Side in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say that turned out to be a terrific investment. Maybe I should say the best investment that I've ever made, in that's where I met my wife, shooting hoops on the basketball court at the Reebok Club on the Upper West Side of Manhattan.
I never knew that. That paid off in a major dividend, didn't it? That's fantastic. So what is the one discretionary thing you spend a lot of money on that's worth it to you?
Yeah. So I think one of the best things that I did a couple years ago was hire a personal trainer.
Mm-hmm.
I view that as an investment. I do spend time at the beginning of each year thinking about investments I can make in my time so that I grow, that I get better. That's important for the firm that I am doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Not particularly persuasive for me to tell guys that they should be growing, or to be looking for guys who should be growing. If people like you, who runs a desk, or somebody like myself isn't doing that as well. So I have a personal trainer. I work out with my personal trainer 3 times a week. As you know, our firm, they used to have this terrific Midtown office in New York City. We still have it. It's just we haven't been to it because of COVID for a while. I took my family and we moved to the Jersey Shore at the very, very beginning of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still working out with my personal trainer virtually 3 times a week, and worth every penny and then some.
How many years have you been doing that?
I'd have to go back and look at my calendar, but it's been a couple of years now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good investment that I've made.
And you swim every day, right?
No, we not quite. And since we have been out here, I think that's probably something that's been off the table for a bit.
Well, that's what happens during pandemics.
Yeah.
You get thrown out of your schedule. Well, speaking of improvement, SMB is great. It's the best career move I ever made by a mile. And yet no place is perfect, right? So what do you see as the area that you would love to see SME grow in? What area do we really need to grow in to become more complete and more great?
Yeah, automated trading.
Mm-hmm.
I've been spending a lot of time trying to hire interns who are more likely to be better at automated trading.
Mm-hmm.
We have spent a lot of time thinking about the infrastructure so that we get better at automated trading. We continue to do that. We encourage our traders day by day, month by month, to be spending some time working on some automated models. We encourage traders to team with other traders to build models. That's where we're seeing the most success at the firm, is traders teaming to build models. I think a lot of times when you think about models, and again, getting back to your theme of being secretive, hey, if you have a model, you should keep it to yourself, not tell anybody, and it's this individual exercise. We found that the collaboration between traders, the collaboration between teams is what leads, what has led to the best successes in automated trading. So we can do better there. We have made some improvement, but if I am assessing an area where we need to do better, it would be there.
So is that because there's the most potential in automated trading, or is it just an area where there's more room for improvement?
That's a great follow-up question. To me, that's a question of technology. I think there's 3 ways that technology can help traders. Alerts that alert you to your favorite setups, scripts that get you into your favorite setups automatically and you trade out with discretion, and automated models where you write rules into a trade and you write rules out of a trade. I actually know that you're working on a new system with a new colleague of yours, and building a signal for a potentially powerful new signal that you are trading presently, and that we can talk about with the trading community perhaps soon. And you're doing that in collaboration with somebody else.
Yep.
Do I think there's a tremendous amount of opportunity as discretionary traders? We talked about Swang's P&L. There are 2 traders right behind him, really close to crossing 10 million in P&L for the year, like Swang. I mean, really close. So there's a lot of opportunity as discretionary traders. Overall, is there more opportunity? That's probably a question for quantitative traders to chime in on. The way I look at it is, there's a lot of opportunity in discretionary trading. There's a lot of opportunity in automated trading, and we should give our traders the resources and the optionality to be good at both or either.
Makes sense. So just like SMB is not perfect and you want to make improvements in automated trading, how about at the individual trader level? What do you think they ought to be doing more of? If you could make one important improvement in the traders at SMB, what would those be? What would that be?
One of the things that I think traders ought to be doing more of across the board is mindfulness training. My thesis is that mindfulness training will be as commonplace as exercise is on a daily and weekly basis. When you and I were a little bit younger, I think you can remember exercise was something new. It was this new phenomena that we should go jog or we should go lift weights.
Yeah, it wasn't a given in society.
That wasn't something that everybody agreed needed to be a part of their routine. Now, for the most part, that's accepted. My sense is that in short order, mindfulness training will be accepted as something essential to most people's routines to ensure that they are as healthy as possible. Headspace is a great app for which traders can use to start. And I have a business partner who you know very well, Ziad Masri, who started a new company called Soul Hub, which you guys can check out. And I've been playing around with a bunch of his mindfulness videos and breathing techniques. I've been really enjoying them. He's got great music on these exercises, which I really love. One of them is actually imagining your breath crashing with like waves do. So your breath is crashing with the waves, which is great for me because we're actually fortunate enough to be at a place that's right on the ocean.
Oh.
And I can actually, when I start the exercise, I literally see the waves crashing. And then I close my eyes and go through the exercises. So I really enjoy that. And I just love the music.
Check that out. All right, Mike, when are you going to write another book? It's been a while. In fact, my dad, who passed away 5 years ago, a year before he passed away, he got a signed copy from you of the playbook. So I know you haven't written one in 5 years. And are you planning to write one? And if so, what's it going to be about?
Yes, it will be about the 7 and 8 figure traders that we've grown at the firm, and who I coach, some of the select traders that I coach outside the firm. That's
right. You do a little bit of coaching as well in your spare time, that is, right? It's hard to believe you're doing that too with everything else I know you have going.
Well, these guys are special. These guys are special, and I really enjoy it. It's one of the really good decisions that I made to grow as a coach and as a mentor, was deciding to take on a couple of really special traders outside the firm and help them. And as any great coach will tell you, I have learned an awful lot coaching them, and they've made me so much better. And while certainly time gets limited running a proprietary trading firm and doing all the stuff that we do and running the desk, as you know, I mean, there's just a lot that goes into that. But something that I've never spent 1 minute with these guys thinking to myself, oh, I have to go do something else. They energize me. I really look forward to talking to them and reading their daily report cards and working with them and seeing how successful they have become and how much better they've gotten.
It's got to be incredibly gratifying. When you're first hire a trader, what's the sort of the thing you're looking for? What's the key trait that you're focusing on in your decision?
Simple. I want to meet people who are interested in getting better.
Why?
Because those are the traders that are going to be able to last through different markets. Markets change, regimes change. Those are the traders who can become 7 and 8 figure traders. Those are the traders who are going to appreciate the firm and its resources more, because they're going to recognize that, look, they could probably be pretty good by themselves, but could they become as great as they've become by themselves? I think they would acknowledge that maybe not. And so for those reasons, those are the people, firstly, we want to be recruiting.
And you see that, people think these are kind of cliches, but you really see the guys, my observation is the guys who've worked the hardest are the ones who are having this unbelievable success. This is not some kind of sort of idealistic world we're talking about. That's the real world. The guys who really put the work in are the ones who are tremendously successful. Put it this way, they've got to be putting the work in or they can't be successful.
Okay, I got a G chat from Swang right after the close. I'm up XYZ for the year. And his words, now let's keep pushing.
Yeah. And you see that in him. And that's why he's getting more and more profitable every year. What is something, these are, you know, tense, difficult times. We've got a pandemic going on. We've got a very, very fragile economic situation, 13% unemployment, people out of work. During these difficult times, what is helping the successful traders psychologically? What's keeping them?
Yeah, it's very important for traders who are having success, who've had success. This is what I'm reading from them in their daily report cards. That's their trading journal they're sharing with me on a daily basis. This is what I'm hearing in our phone calls and our Zoom meetings from them. This is what I'm reading from them in their G chats with me, is the importance of giving back. They're talking about this. They're talking about what they're doing to give back. And each of them are doing it in their own way. You know, for instance, one trader was talking about finding a food bank, how they'd found a food bank to donate to. I'm on the board of Traders for a Cause that donates to terrific charities. And that's something that traders can get involved in. But they, to a person, they are all thinking about the ways that they can give back, the ways that they can use what they feel grateful for, the money that they've made, that they're grateful for, and they feel fortunate to have made, how they can share it in a productive way to help a bunch of other people out. Super important.
It's great advice, and it helps you to become a much more complete human being in the long run. And it's what you'll be remembered for. Young guys may not think about being remembered for things, but as every year goes by, you do, and that's the long-term reputation you build. All right, Mike, put you on the spot again. If you had to give a single piece of advice to a new trader, developing trader, what would be, after all these years, what would you boil it down to as the most important piece of advice you give people?
Okay, I'm going to be succinct. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to go back to Atomic Habits by James Clear. Develop a routine of best practices that you turn into habit to drive your trading performance.
So it comes down to habit and best practices.
The effective best practices that you turn into habit, mm-hmm. that you execute on a daily basis, those are the things that bring the P&L. So for example, one of the things, I just find this story, by the way, so inspiring. So one of the traders who I actually coach outside the firm is somebody who has been north of $5 million in his trading career, probably knocking at the door at 10 million this year. And again, outside the firm, incredible joy to work with. So fortunate to have met him and watched him grow as a trader. Knew him actually, I've known him since he was in college. Just a remarkable person. So he's like one of the most successful day traders in the US. In his words, he now has enough money that he could reasonably live comfortably without making another dollar in his trading career. And that's not what drives him anymore. He wants to get better. He wants to improve. He has his own goals. And the thing that he still does to this day is he records the screens and he goes back at the end of the day and rewatches the tape of the most opportunistic trades during that day, and watches the order flow over and over and over again. So he improves his reading the tape skills. So he builds his intuition to be able to trade certain setups better. So he can trade these setups bigger with more confidence. And he's just watching tape like a quarterback in the NFL is watching game tape to get prepared for a future opponent. I mean, again, this is somebody who doesn't need to do this. And yet he is. And this is an effective best practice that he's turned into habit that he continues to do, which is helping him continue to improve.
It's incredible. I would say if somebody were to ask me what's the core theme of SMB, I would say it's process, focus on process, and the results will flow from that. And that's never changed in the 10 years I've known you, Mike, in the 10 years I've been with the firm. And all that you're saying is just reinforcing that. And it's proven out because these guys came right out of college. They didn't know anything. And now they're making $10 million. So what's going on now? What is the thing you're excited about now? The most recent advancement, innovation project at SMB that is really exciting now there. And that's one of the cool things. There's always some new answer to that question. In the last 10 years, there've been at least 10 answers to that question, probably 20. So what's the current kind of innovation that you're working on that you're excited about?
You know, I got to give credit to Dr. Steinberger and 2 interns from our recent class. And for those of you who go to SMB Capital's YouTube page, there's a video we just put up. And that video is how 2 traders work together to build a clear, repeatable, and highly profitable stock trade. Let me take a half a step back. So the second book I wrote is called The Playbook. And in the playbook, I teach how to build your trading business, essentially to break down certain trades and variables so that you know what they are, so that you know what to look for, and so that you actually trade that playbook. Not other stuff, but the trades, you know that you trade well, you measure those trades, you keep track, you keep score of how you're doing in these trades, but you know what you're doing, you know what you're looking for, you know the names of these trades, and you execute on them. And these 2 interns, and the way that we used to do it at the firm, and the way I wrote about it in the playbook was, you do this individually. This is an individual exercise that you do at the end of every trading session. You find a setup that made the most sense to you, and you archive the variables, you decode the variables from that trade, and you make it into what we call a playbook. You give it a name, you archive it, you trade that. And what these guys did at the urging of Dr. Steinberger is they did this together. They are doing playbook trades as a team, as a twosome. Mm-hmm. They're breaking down and building a playbook together. And what that does is it makes it more fun, and it gives you an extra pair of eyes of insight into certain trades, and it helps you to build on some of the strengths that maybe your partner has that maybe you don't have. For instance, in this one particular pairing, one of the guys is really good at coding and back testing. Mm-hmm. And so I can lean on this other guy, add that as one of the variables into, and you can see it in the video, how they use historical analysis to make a good trade even better. Mm-hmm. And I love the idea of as many playbooks as possible in the future being done by 2- and 3-person teams, being done in a group, being done jointly, having playbooks built together, and to see what that brings for the firm. just love the idea.
Well, Mike, I want to wrap up with kind of a final comment and a sort of a final question. And that is, every firm, any kind of a company, needs a leader that really is conveying enthusiasm. If the leader's not conveying enthusiasm, it's going to have a very quick dampening effect on the company. And I've been through these experiences in my career, and I can tell you that's true. For some reason, you just have this constant enthusiasm, and yet I've known you for 10 years. I have never seen you more excited than you are now about SMB. Most people would say, you get tired of something, it gets boring, it gets routine. That doesn't ever seem to happen to you. And now, in the middle of a damn pandemic, I've never seen you more psyched. So what is it? What's going on that's making you so excited about running SMB?
So by the way, there's a really good book, since you called me out for reading a lot of books. But one of the traders who I coach outside the firm got me to read this book by Ryan Holiday that's called The Obstacle is the Way, which all the great athletes are reading and all the great coaches are reading, which I have read recently. And I'll take a part of what you said and connect it to, which is, we have this pandemic. We've got to take all of our traders who are physically in our office, and we've got to transition into virtual trading, which is not our business model. And it gave us an opportunity to either fret about the difference or innovate. And I think one of the things that we've done is we've learned how to be really good and communicate really well as a virtual firm. And in fact, I would suggest in some ways our communication's even better. Virtually, all of us trading at our home than physically in the same office at the same time. And so that obstacle, the pandemic, was in our way, but it has taught us some things about communicating better and working together more, and how important that actually is, that I feel really good about. But the thing I feel the best about, and I gotta share two quick anecdotes. March was our best month ever. It should have been a really, really good month, but I mean, our performance was just astonishing, remarkable, even as good as the market was. For the capital that we trade, I mean, just such outperformance. And couldn't be prouder of the guys, and the numbers they put up were just, it was so gratifying to see how happy they were and the levels of success they were having. We have a monthly meeting with everybody at the firm in teams each month. We did it all virtually after March because of COVID. We do it with Dr. Steinberger and Carlton, our floor manager. We spent one full day doing it after March. And when I was done, Dr. Steinberger pinged me and wanted to chat, even after we'd spent the whole day together. And so I call him quickly, and he says, Mike, my God, the success that your traders are having and the talent that is at the firm. And I've never felt better about the firm, not because of the results, but because of the success and because of the potential for success that these guys could have. Because when you put up numbers like that, it doesn't go away. You figure out how to do it in other markets as well. And the other anecdote that I would just leave you with is, it's clear from us that the decision we made about 3 years ago, excuse me, to really double down on our internship program, to really hire people who have gone through our system So we have a way of training. We have a very specific culture. We have a way of looking at markets and the world and performance. I'm not suggesting that we are the ones who have the right answer or the only answer. We have our answer. We have what works for us. And since 2005, nobody has developed more consistently profitable and seven-figure traders in our space than us. Period, full stop. We are the very best at that in the entire world. The results are the results. And what we decided to do a bunch of years ago is say, let's really work hard to hire a great class of interns. Let's give them our training. You know, if you're a US college student, let's really be selective about who's going to be an intern, but let's really spend a lot more time hiring interns and not just nobody we've ever met before. Let's get them in the system. Let's work with them. And let's double down on our training and our education for these interns. And let's hire the best interns that we get at the firm. And let's put our capital behind them and see what we can develop. And in doing so, in combination with, as you know, we also run a completely separate firm, SME Training. And at SME Training, you can get into the firm by taking our training for a fee through SME Training, and all of the same training that our interns get and our new hires get. You can go through that. And for the most serious of the SME Training students, you can apply to the firm. And we have found some really good people through SME Training who we might not have met if we only hired interns. Maybe these are non-traditional people. Maybe these are people who can't be in New York. Maybe these people are out of college. Lots of different reasons. Maybe these are people who have had a little bit of success, but not a ton, and need some more training. And because of that, at our firm right now, we have the deepest talent pool than we've ever had. The interns are more talented, the new hires are more talented, the junior traders are more talented, the developing traders are more talented. It is the most talent we've ever had at any time in our firm's history. And so while the P&L is being driven by the guys who mostly have been with us for a long period of time, we see that there's gonna be a lot more star traders that are not showing up on the P&L yet, but are gonna.
The new sharks, the new swangs.
They'll have their own nicknames. Some of these guys are gonna have their own damn nicknames.
Well, you have to eventually, or you can't be a trader long term.
No, but I mean, we have learned that, as you said, process traders buying into the importance of process. I'll just leave you with this quick anecdote. I had a conversation just yesterday with the trader who is very, very close with a trader outside the US who literally is this exchange. It's a foreign exchange, so it's not as big as the US. It's not a small country, but again, it's not the US. This guy that this trader is talking about is literally the best trader in that country. He's the best in his space in that country, the very best. Mm-hmm. And this friend of mine was saying that he had taken S&P DNA and how much it had helped him. Different country, different market, different way the markets trade, but understanding process, how to prepare, how to review, how to find the right stocks, the importance of finding the right stocks, the importance of building your playbook, all the stuff that goes into how we shape and train traders is super powerful. across the world. And so gratifying to hear that and see that.
There are a lot of people who can trace their trading careers back to SMB's original Equity Foundation course, which is now kind of morphed into the DNA program and the Winning Trader program. It certainly kickstarted my career in trading. I ended up focusing on options, but all the principles are with me every day and with our desk every day. Well, Bella, thank you. It's an exciting year for the firm. It's really, really great to be part of it. It's so fun and so gratifying to see all these people growing and see the firm, having so much success after, so many years of doing everything right and all the blocking and tackling. And then you get into a market like this and it all develops into something really, really significant.
Hey, go ahead and click our subscribe button so you don't miss any of the videos that we're producing for you in the trading community. And please take the time to add your feedback in the comments section for what videos you'd like for us to produce next and what you found helpful from this video. From all of us at SMB, train and trade well.